Let's go.
The amount of copyright strike we're gonna get hit with right now. Just the first 2 minutes of this episode.
Joltu and Matako. That's it.
Yeah,
Done.
That's fine. It's okay.
Worth it.
We're not monetized anyway, so screw it.
Yeah, nobody watches this shit. Nobody.
Nobody watches this shit.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Of course, we went ahead and expressed our love towards Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween in 1978. We've expressed our love for the new movies that come out, the remakes, the reboots, I would say. We've even had a little bit of love for the Rob Zombie and appreciate the psychology that was behind at least the first one on that. That showed the younger Michael Myers and how it became to be. But within the midst of all the Michael Myers stuff, there is one movie that stands the test of time.
Stands alone.
That stands alone in the Halloween lore. Like I said on the previous episode, Halloween 1 and 2 were done really well. There was a story that they wanted to tell right after the John Carpenter original. And then they did a sequel to that. It was not directed by John Carpenter again. He did not return, so that kind of put a little damper on that. It's not his original story. But there's only 2 movies that they wanted to do, just the standalone and the sequel on that. However, because of the overwhelming success that Halloween had, the franchise up to that point with the 2 movies, they still wanted to keep Halloween as a franchise alive. So in the middle there, they went ahead and released Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. In case you're not aware of this, Michael Myers, in physical form, is not in this movie whatsoever. Harold did mention that in our earlier episode, that, hey, he's heard that Michael Myers was not in it. We will correct that because Michael Myers is in it because Halloween is actually playing on the TV set as part of the horror-thon that is basically part of the plot device. There's a horror movie-thon that's happening on TV, and they're showing Halloween. So it's very fourth wallish in that, very meta. Yeah, that's the word they use. Yeah, meta. So it's Facebook on that.
Multiverse.
Yeah, multiverse. It's a multiverse thing. It's definitely a multiverse thing.
Perfect.
It's a Halloween multiverse. So let me just explain this movie to you guys if you haven't seen it, because Harold hasn't seen it. So I'll explain it to Harold and anybody else who hasn't. So Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, if you haven't seen it, it is streaming right now on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, go ahead and check it out. Halloween 2 and 3 are actually both streaming on there. And I think maybe one of the newer ones. I think Halloween Kills is on there too. But Halloween Season of the Witch is on Peacock. You can go ahead and stream that. So what happens is it's actually following a storyline that there's these Halloween masks that are being made, and they're being distributed by this company called Silver Shamrock. And what happens is that these Halloween masks are going to be worn by children, adults, teens, doesn't matter. And at some point, something's going to happen that is going to basically destroy humankind. Not to ruin it all for you, Harold, because I know you're going to go back and see this. I know.
Bro, don't
watch
Just watch it. Watch
it. Just listen to us talk about it. You'll get it off.
So how the story starts?
Scarier this way.
How the story starts is this young lady who's one of our stars of this movie. His dad or her dad ends up dying or going missing. She employs the help of a random doctor who I fucking hate in this movie so much. I wish he was dying at every moment. I really wish he died every turn. He was a douchebag and a womanizer, and I hated his guts. Anyways, they go to this town where Silver Shamrock masks are made to investigate and see what's happening. They uncover this nefarious plot of masks that are being made. There's a pumpkin mask. There's I think a witch mask and some other mask that's being made, distributed. I think it's I don't know what the masks are. There's 3 masks. I know that. So they're all 3 being made, and inside there's actually a chip made by Silver Shamrock. They want everybody to wear these masks because there's a big giveaway at the end of the horror-thon that they're going to be watching, actually on Halloween night. And anyone who has those masks on are going to be turned into snakes or bugs. They're just going to be basically dead, and bugs and shit are going to be crawling out of their mouths.
Crawling out of their freaking orifices.
Yeah,
Freaking
any
snakes and
orifice at all.
alligators?
Snakes and alligators. Cockroaches, everything, bro. They're just
It
all coming
was
out.
literally, oh my god.
So the plan is to kill everybody with this, and how they're doing this magic is the toy creator, the toy warehouse guy, doesn't really employ. He's like Willy Wonka, but not as cool, right? So he's making these masks, and he employs, instead of Oompa Loompas, he just makes a bunch of robot people. They're not robots; they're humans, so kind of like androids, but not as cool as like Alien. And they're working the factory and basically just go out and kill people if they try to uncover the secrets of this factory of Silver Shamrock.
They look like a bunch of Agent Smiths, honestly.
That's how I describe it.
From
Yes, they look like
Matrix.
Agent Smiths. They're all the same generic white guy on that. And while the doctor is over here being a sleuth all of a sudden, he uncovers his plot. He sees a family like watching the Halloween commercial, the Silver Shamrock commercial, and their kid ends up basically like dying in front of them, like lays on the floor, snakes and cockroaches, and a rattlesnake comes out. The mom faints because she sees this. The dad is trying to escape, and the rattlesnake bites the dad in the leg, in the ankle. He ends up dying because of a rattlesnake bite. And then there's snakes crawling over the mom's face. So there's a lot of shit that happens. And during this time, the dad or the doctor guy is over here with the worst facial expressions. I don't know if you remember this, Jay, but he's watching it.
I remember.
And he goes like this while things are happening, and just like he's like really invested in his family. I don't know why. I'm gonna play the clip here because it's fucking phenomenal. So he ends up finding out that Stonehenge, a piece of Stonehenge went missing from actual Stonehenge in Ireland.
What the hell is happening in this movie?
Wait, hold on. Did you just say Stonehenge again? Isn't that the same crap from Troll?
Yes.
Too?
What is
I don't know which was
happening
made
here?
first. You got to find out. It's Troll
This
2
is
or
like-
Halloween 3.
This is like
So this is
Indiana
Stonehenge.
Jones
This is
meets-
getting
I don't
interesting
know
now.
what.
Wow.
This is Stonehenge all happening. So Stonehenge is taken. A piece of Stonehenge is taken from Ireland or wherever Stonehenge is. I don't know where.
England.
England, yeah, the UK, and it's taken to this factory. And their plan, Alex, do you remember their plan? Because I didn't make it that far in the movie.
The which
the plan,
part
like
was
the
it?
master plan.
Let me
It's all
guess.
part of the
The
plan.
master plan was to control.
Take
But
over.
But they're not
Shadowland.
controlling anybody. They're just killing people with this mask.
I feel like they're just killing
So they
people.
just
I don't
wanna
think
kill
there's a
people.
master plan. I think they just want to kill the whole world. Because all I remember at the end was like the guy is on the phone and he's like calling.
Yes,
to
because
try to
the
get
plan
them to
is,
shut down the
he's
TV.
trying. He couldn't destroy the factory or whatnot, so he calls the TV stations and he's like, "Don't show this commercial. Don't show this program." Blah blah blah.
Shut it
Yeah.
up!
So he calls
Yeah.
like 4 different networks, and three of the four actually end up not showing it. And then he's still on the phone. Yeah, he's like, "I still see it on this one. I still see it.
Believe me.
Shut it off.
Believe
Shut it
me."
off." Yeah. And that's how the that's how the movie ends.
The
just
movie
like that.
ends. It just
Absolutely
ends
atrocious.
like the
It's just
commercial
his music
showing.
playing.
Yeah, like
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy.
So when that music plays, that's when it's activated in these people. Now, that's a
wrote
very
this.
short synopsis of that movie on that. I had a lot of
Well,
problems with
you just took a whole bunch of my time. Of
Yeah,
my
like
life.
seriously, I'm
With that.
falling asleep.
it. No, but
Can we talk
Harold, I
about the
think
death
you should.
scenes?
The death
At
scene?
least the death. Let's talk about the death scenes.
Okay, which is your favorite death scene, Jay?
my probably the one.
You want to talk about the
The
death
one-
scenes? What the fuck you want to talk about?
Yeah.
The death scenes? Then tell me,
Let me tell you. Cállate,
motherfucker.
coño. My favorite one is when
Jamie, tell me.
the
Jamie.
guy, dude, the one where that guy sneaks into the the room while the guy is in bed, and then he zooms into the guy's fingers like this.
I seen that. I saw that death
And it goes,
on the
boom.
on YouTube.
He covers the guy's mouth. He covers the guy's mouth first, and then he goes like this, and he sticks his fingers in the guy's eyes and starts like digging in,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And the guy's just going, you know, and then he literally
Sound
goes
like a little Pikachu when you did that.
Yeah.
bro.
and then he literally goes and squeezes and connects his fingers under the guy's like bridge of his nose and
Yeah.
pushes up, and you just see the guy's whole bone bridge go.
Ugh.
That's it. And I'm like, how do you even think of that? Like, how do you even like?
Like write that on paper.
Yeah, like I'm going to put my fingers in your eyeballs, close my fingers, and pull up on the bridge of your nose, and you're dead
From the inside.
from the inside. I mean, it was
The same
pretty. I
people who
mean,
brought
it's
you,
gruesome.
uh,
It's gruesome.
There are some gruesome. I will say there are some gruesome death scenes in this movie. If you like the gruesome, the
It's
nastiness, it's pretty gruesome. This whole movie. And it's actually one part where this lady, one of the chips falls
That
out of the
was
mask,
disgusting.
and she's in the hotel room.
That was.
I was actually watching this
disgusting.
today, and I'm like eating some food, like Chinese food. While I'm doing this.
Oh, God!
And I forgot. I'm like, I just
The
forward,
worst
you know, I
time
forward
ever.
it, forward it. And I was like, I'm just gonna play it from here, from this moment, and because I want to remember how this death scene went. So
Yeah.
the silver shamrock little chip comes off. It just falls on the floor, and she's sitting in bed and listening to some classical music in the background. I don't know why. And then she's like, puts her glasses on and messes with this little microchip. But I guess the microchip
Great.
is rigged with the magic of Stonehenge, and you see that the blue light come out of the chip and
What the-
into her
The-
face.
corny, but which, in my opinion, was probably one of the corniest like
The effect,
parts. The effect of it was just
the
so
light
bad.
effect,
was
it
so-
wasn't like a lightsaber or anything like that.
It just
should've-
looked like she
yeah.
shined a big, humongous flashlight in her face.
Yeah, like in her
And
face.
she's
That
like,
was it.
and she goes, "Oh," and then it cuts away.
But the after, it cuts away to the other two
Yes.
nasty
He go-
assholes having sex in the
Ow!
other room, and then it cuts back
Oh,
to the
God, it was
lady, and she's
so
laying
bad.
there with her mouth
good.
like wide open, just her teeth. Out of her mouth then crawls like, I don't know, fucking cockroach.
There's like bees.
It's like Candyman, but
bees
not
or
as cool.
something. Like
Yeah, and there's like
Yes,
bees
yeah.
and like bugs coming out, and it's disgusting looking. Like the makeup, the prosthetic on this one, way better than Troll 2, I will say that. But it was terrifying. And I remember like sitting there, I looked up from my Chinese food, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to eat this no more. So I stopped eating. Like I'm starving right now because I stopped eating at that part. Yeah, show the picture. Yeah, that is disgusting. Look at that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Thank you, Jay, for that.
Just the blue light does that.
thanks for that
That
visual
visual.
representation again.
It's
I
the
need it.
worst.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Now, I do want to talk about really touch on the doctor character. Again, I said he was disgusting, nasty, and I want him to die the whole time. Not only because his acting was terrible, but
Oh, it's
because there are
horrible.
parts here where he's a divorcee or divorcee, whatever you want to
Yeah, we'll
say, and his wife is back home with the kids, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't take the kids today because I have to go out of town." He finds the random girl, the main girl, who he goes to town with, and trying to find out what happened to her father. And he's disgusting. So he's trying to like have sex with her, which he ends up doing.
But
then he's on the phone.
Dude,
he has like a 6-pack of beer. Like he's talking on the phone with his wife, and I don't know if anyone caught that, but he's like, "I can't make it. I'm going to a doctor's conference."
yeah,
And then he's like, he hangs up and then just takes like a 6-pack and runs.
they're
to go
like
in the car
laying
with
in
the
bed
girl.
at one
Like-
point together, right?
Correct.
And then she like rolls over on top of him. I mean, they're like naked already. Rolls over
No,
on
they're
top
not
of
naked.
him.
Oh yeah, they're
They're,
naked,
well, whatever, and they just start kissing, and I guess they're getting turned on, and he goes, like while she's on top of him. Wait a minute. How old are you? Like, what? That's when you want to ask how old the girl is?
He already had sex with
That
her
is
before
disgusting.
that, though.
But
And not
he
only
did?
that,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he did.
That's
Yeah,
I must have
after.
fast forwarded to that part.
Yeah.
Because I saw that part. I'm like,
Because he like, they're sitting on the bed. I remember this moment, and the girl's like, or he's like, should I get another room? He's like talking to her. Should I get another room so it's not awkward? Blah blah blah. And then she's like, well, wouldn't people get suspicious? And he's like, I'll just sleep in the car. You know, it's more comfortable than the floor. And then she just looks at him. First of all, they have like zero interaction, barely up until this point, other than her going to the bar and seeing him, and she's like, what did my dad say before he died? Did he say anything? Like, this is the only conversation
so
they have.
weird.
it's so bad.
So then all of a sudden they take this road trip and they have this conversation, and then she looks over at him and says, where do you want to sleep? And then he's like, that's a stupid question to ask. What do you think? And then they just start making out of nowhere. It's like, there's no explanation.
So it goes from how did my
whatsoever.
dad die to
let's fuck.
let's do it.
Yeah, we're just
That's
now we're sleeping
that's
together.
samurai
Exactly,
cop action.
bro.
They're gonna make the swap somewhere in the marina. Just stick close to them.
Okay, Joe. Keep it up.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
It's warm and ready.
Now keep it warm. It's so ridiculous.
It was an awkward samurai cop sex
Yeah,
scene, though, I will admit. It was. He's like,
And not
this
only
far
that,
away
but
from
then
her,
he
like,
calls
leaning.
his coroner friend, the one who's like doing the like basically it's her like he's Batman and she's Alfred somewhere else, right? And he keeps calling this lady and he's like, hey, can you find out about this guy, the Willy Wonka guy, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, that's going to cost you a lot of dinners. And then he's like, I'll give you all the dinners. You know, I'm always ready for dinner with you. And like, it's just disgusting. I'm like, bro, you have the ex-wife, you have this young 18, maybe 18-year-old. You don't even know how old she fucking is. You have this girl, and then now you're trying to hit on the coroner chick. I'm like, what is wrong
He
with
even
you?
hit on the other nurse.
Yeah, there was another nerf in the
in
beginning.
the
I'm like,
hospital at one
what are you
point. He like
doing?
slaps her in the butt or whatever when they're walking down the hallway. And he's like, I should have married you or something.
This guy
Like,
is
dude, this
disgusting.
guy
He's a
is like,
dog.
yeah, he's scum.
He needed to die
He's-
like way earlier.
He's scum,
The fact that
bro.
he survived this movie is infuriating. Like he needed to die in the first 5 minutes of this
You know,
movie.
Michael Myers needed to come out of somewhere.
For
just
real,
like-
he needed to come out of TV. and fucking stab him.
I honestly hope they bring this guy back
just to be killed.
somehow in the next movie, and he gets killed immediately. He gets killed.
He's just like
immediately,
talking to
dude. That would
a
be
nurse
great.
and he just gets a freaking knife right in the
Just a random person in the hospital. Like he just comes by, boom, no explanation.
You want to talk about an awkward
There you
death
go.
scene in the movie, bro? Is the one where the guy gets his head ripped off?
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
one-
yeah, yeah. The
That
homeless
was
guy that's there.
so-
yeah.
I wasn't
That
expecting
was
that at
so
all.
awkward because they just kneel him down, and
It's like
then
soap
he
opera.
yeah, basically he looks up at the guy. One guy's holding him down, basically, and then
Two
the other
guys are
guy
holding him
grabs
down,
yeah, and then the other guy grabs him by the side like this, by the side of the,
Like Chung Li, yeah.
yeah, and then he just starts pulling up. The guy doesn't scream or anything.
No, he doesn't. He
It's
doesn't
just-
scream.
Yeah, not even a peep out of his freaking
Not a
mouth.
peep.
All of a sudden, you just see, and his head comes off. And it wasn't
'Cause
like
he's-
fast. It's not like he ripped his head off. He went like that, and the guy didn't like
The guy
Not
didn't
one sound.
scream. Nothing.
not one sound. He didn't go nothing, nothing.
He didn't sound like a Pikachu.
And then
no.
you see like blood
He didn't go-
splatter randomly too.
Nothing. Nothing.
He didn't. Yeah. Before that, he was singing the Halloween song. He's like, "Happy Halloween." Like, and
Yep.
he was all drunk and whatever.
Yep.
Then he's like on his knees, and he's like, "No, don't do this." And then slowly, bro, just
Slow.
slowly.
Not a peep out of him.
I don't understand it.
Dude, the best kill though was the guy that kills himself in the car.
Oh,
So the guy you're talking about,
yeah.
when he puts his fingers down and kills the guy, he's walking
That's
away.
the one. Yeah.
It leaves the hospital and he sits in the car, and then The guy's like, "Hey, wait, hold on!" Like he's trying to chase him, but he's like,
He just starts pouring.
he takes the gasoline tank and just pours it all over himself.
I
You
just
already know
watched
it.
that. I just watched that. And now
You
it's
already know
so
where it's going.
stupid.
You're like, what is he doing? And not to mention, he lights himself, and then the car explodes 0.2
Oh,
seconds
yeah.
after he lights
Oh, yeah.
himself on fire. It's like,
It didn't
that's how
even give
that-
it a chance to. No, that doesn't
Yeah.
work. That's not how science works.
no.
Let it at least flow into the gas engine, into the
Yes.
the tank. It's like no, immediately, bro.
Boom.
Bro, those were what? Was that in the 80s? The cars caught on fire quick.
I don't know. I think it was in the 80s maybe
Yeah, I
90s.
think that was 80s.
Was that an 80s movie? I think it was an 80s
Yeah, I
movie.
think it was an 80s movie.
It was 80. It was 82.
God,
I
that's
looked it up
trash.
because now that you talked about the Stonehenge shit, like I was literally looking this up because it was pissing me off, and I was like, "Is this really the same?" And it's literally the same thing from
It is.
Troll 2 or Troll 2. It's called Stonehenge Magic Stone, is in Troll 2, and then here they're talking about
So is there a
Stonehenge.
magic stone in Stonehenge?
like
Maybe
ruin or whatever?
because isn't that in like Frozen as
I
well?
don't know. I guess
Like the rocks in Frozen.
I don't know,
the
dude.
trolls.
So and now this is making me even more confused on why writers or people that keep making these movies, why they keep calling things that they have no, like the title is Season of the Witch. There's no fucking witches in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. You're right.
There's no witch.
There's absolutely no
There's
witch.
like literally none. They're all toys or
I thought
like
they could have
masks.
they could have
Exactly.
called it
There's
like
no
Season of the
witches.
Mask. It's fine.
See, you know what I was thinking though? Like when they're going to the town and you know how all the people are watching them awkwardly? Like they're like just staring at them like when they come into town and they're like, "Oh, these people aren't very friendly or whatever." I thought those people were going to be like witches. Like I was like, "Is this Troll?" Like cuz then I was thinking like, you know how Troll they turn into goblins, all the people that are like townspeople. So I was like, "Is this the same fucking movie?" Like as I'm rewatching it. But I don't know, maybe they like went that route and then they didn't go all the way, and then so this Italian director that did Troll 2 obviously watched Halloween 3 and was inspired by this movie because
He's like, "Oh, Stonehenge. It's a
Literally,
me, Stonehenge." Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
There we go.
Now I will say I was sad that the girl, the main girl, actually I think she died in this movie because when they were on their way back to town after they visit the factory, she tries to kill the doctor, which was great. But basically, they cloned this lady. I think maybe that was that the plot, like to clone people and then turn them into robots, because she turned into a robot or she was made into an android.
No, dude.
I don't remember.
I
I don't even remember that being
Yeah.
explained. If I'm
But
being
they are
honest with you, I
they're
don't remember
driving
them saying
and then
that.
she tries to kill him, but ends up being like an android. Like she has the green blood and everything
But
like that. But
everybody up until this point is the same Agent Smith looking
just
dude.
white people,
So
huh?
that completely null and voids. No, because there's no girls that are robots until they show her. Like the whole time, it's the same.
that's because
Agent
that guy
Smith
is sexist. Well, the Willy Wonka guy is sexist. He doesn't want any female robots. He's like, they're not strong enough. But I guess to kill the guy, that's what he does.
Dude, I love how
Makes
when,
her into a
like
robot.
they rip off limbs and stuff of the robots and stuff, and you see like the little tubes sticking out of the arms, and it's like, they're
Yeah, it's like
when
the
he
thing.
punches him, he punches like through his
Yeah,
body,
he's like,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
he has like
goo. And he's all like,
weird goo in his hand. He's like,
it's like what?
this guy is a
Yeah,
terrible
horrific.
actor.
Oh, he's a terrible actor. He's
Horrific.
Alex. You think he's worse than the dad?
Here's a question. Yeah, I knew you were gonna go. I knew you were gonna.
Is he worse than
I
the
knew
dad
you were
in
gonna
Troll
ask
2?
me, is who's worse?
I don't know, man, because the dad in Troll 2
No.
he's in the beginning of the movie.
The guy in Troll 2
Yeah,
is
it's
really
bad.
bad.
I think
yeah.
he was part of the reason I just stopped watching the damn movie.
That you
I
stopped
couldn't-
watching.
I couldn't.
Sleep.
They're pretty close,
man.
but I think it's hard because honestly, this movie, there are like some moments, like when it first starts, it actually seems like it's good, and then it just starts tanking. Like it gets really bad. Like when they kill the guy in the hospital, it's like that's when it just goes downhill. Like you're just like, what is this movie?
It goes bad fast.
And there's no Michael
Yeah, there's no
Myers.
Michael Myers. Now,
like
if they made this movie, I'm talking about. I actually like the music on this. One of the redeeming things, the soundtrack and the score on this was
Yeah,
very.
but it's because it's John Carpenter. I mean, it's his music.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded very much. Okay, Harold, you know The Thing, right? The
Yes.
John Carpenter's Thing. You know
Yeah.
that synth music, that like.
Yeah, he's always he was at that
all
point he
that,
was
yeah.
known for that stuff. Yeah,
So I don't think John Carpenter had anything to do with this movie except executive
not with
produce
this
it.
movie.
No, music.
Or music.
By
He did the music.
John Carpenter.
Yeah, I
for
think he did the
Season of
music.
the Witch. So you could tell
no,
that.
wasn't
Yeah.
it for the second one? I think he did the music. He didn't direct the second one.
No,
I don't think he did anything on the third one.
the third one he did the music. I think
he
it was a
really?
John
Oh.
Carpenter like score, yeah, because it was very like if you listen to that and The Thing composed, like the composition, the music, pretty much identical, like just about identical on it. So the music itself was actually really good. So it has some redeeming moments. Like I think if this movie was not connected to Halloween, like at all, like the franchise, it probably could have been done pretty well on its own.
No, it was still bad.
It is bad, dude.
You think it's that bad?
It's still
is
pretty. It's
pretty
still a pretty
horrific.
bad movie, bro.
It's-
Honestly,
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
thinking about the effects. Like Jay, you showed us a picture of that lady that died.
Mhm.
The prosthetics, the makeup on it was good. The effects were good on it.
Yeah,
Some of the dialogue could have been definitely cleaned up. And if they replaced that main actor, it probably could have been a lot better. I think that main actor just did like a terrible job on this movie, to be honest. And I think a lot of people expected it to be. That's why they said it tanked. They were like, people went into this thinking it was a Halloween movie. It's called Halloween 3, and there's no Michael Myers in this. That's why they had to do the Return of the Michael Myers, because nobody wants to see it.
They needed to take out 3 and just name it Halloween Season of the Witch or something like that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Well, first of all, no. Why would they name it Season
well,
of
I'm
the Witch?
just
if
saying
there's no
that's
witch?
the name they gave it. Take away.
They should have just
Go on
called
your
this. They should have just called this
Yeah,
Stonehenge
fine,
robot
whatever.
androids.
But take
There
away
you
the
go.
3. That's my point, because it's not tied to 1 and 2.
Yeah, I
it is not a
agree.
3. Yeah,
It has nothing
exactly.
to do with the
That's true.
movies. Yeah.
That's true. But Harold, go see it, man.
Get out of here. End it on that.
I don't know if I'll do that.
End it on that.
I'm
Harold,
gonna be
go
honest.
see
That's
it.
the end. Yeah. Don't watch it yet.
I think I've seen all the YouTube I need.
Oh my god. Wait. That.
Okay, what
that
about the song,
though?
Like, you can't talk shit about
Okay,
the song.
I have to say. No. Hold on. I have to say something about this fucking song because
It's almost time, kid.
That's a terrifying song, bro.
dude, that is the only part of this movie that I remembered. Like, because I watched this movie years ago when I was first watching all the Halloween movies. Like, because I wanted to see it because I thought it was actually a Halloween movie. So I'm watching it, and then I haven't watched it again since then because I remember it being so terrible. So then today I rewatched it again, and that was the only thing that stuck with me from the original viewing was that freaking song and how many times they play it over and over again. And I'm not saying it's a bad song. It's just like they just play it
Too much.
throughout the entire movie. Like I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, because
You
they
know,
changed the lyrics to like
So
5
it's-
more days till Halloween, and then if it gets every day,
Yeah, like as it gets closer.
so you
and
know,
closer,
it kind of
exactly.
tells the audience like how close are we to this happening? Like one more day to Halloween, like oh shit, it's gonna happen. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen in a day. So I think it kind of gives you that timeline.
How close are we to the end of this shit movie? Pretty much.
Harold, was there a comic book based on this movie on the Halloween season of the witch? Do you know?
No, not at all.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
It wasn't part of the lore. Okay,
Nah.
just checking.
How many dog shits did we
Ooh,
give
dog
this
shits.
movie?
Yeah, here we
That's the
go.
question.
Dog shits. Jay, have you
many
been a part of our
shamrocks
dog
you-
shits ratings?
Isn't that like the higher the rating, the better? Like the higher the rating, the worse,
Yes.
right?
The
waiting?
higher the
Yes.
waiting? Yeah. Higher the waiting?
Higher the rating, I said.
There you
correctly.
go. No, you said the waiting.
Higher
You
rating?
said
No.
waiting.
You said the waiting.
You
yeah.
said the higher the waiting.
I'm
The higher
trying
the
to get
waiting
this.
was.
I'm trying to do this for
Platano.
you.
The Emmy West. The Emmy
Platano
West?
waiting.
I'm trying
Platano
to do
waiting.
this for you.
What is that? Who is that?
That's the clip of the watch. Look at his fingers, watch. He's like,
That's
Oh,
so
God.
ridiculous. Oh, my.
Oh, look at that. The claw.
The claw,
Oh!
exactly.
Oh!
Ah, give me that nose. Give me that nose.
Ay, Dios mío. Ay, Dios mío. Oh,
I got your
God.
nose.
Boom.
Oh!
Se jodió.
Oh! He had an orgasm, too. His toes curled up.
Dude, how did his
Hit the whole
nose?
face.
Oh,
How did his nose pop out like
Wait,
Bro,
that?
like
I'm
a
telling
normal-
he put
Makes
his
no sense.
fingers through the bridge of his nose and pulled out like that.
Oh my
Jesus.
god, that's gross, dude.
Jesus Cristo. See, some of these
then
kills
Mike-
are gruesome, bro.
And
They're
then,
worse than.
hey, the
You
best
need to
I
edit
will.
those
Part.
into
The best part.
into this. Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, hold on. When they show him lighting himself, you can see his prosthetic. Like
Jesus.
it's such a shitty job.
wow,
bro.
that was so fast.
Like,
That was
a
so
fake
fast.
car
You
blew
saw-
up.
I
A
told
fake
you.
body double.
I told
yeah.
you.
Oh,
And
you know what? No, you know what it was? Because that guy was an android robot. So his parts that are inside of him, he probably runs on gasoline. So it was like an extra boost.
You think so?
He exploded even more. That's what it was.
Exactly.
That's what it was. I get it.
That wasn't a plot. That wasn't a plot.
It's a multiverse thing, bro. Don't worry about it.
It's a multiverse.
Don't worry about it. All right, so that's it.
All right.
Is that it? Cool. Oh,
Dog
dog shits.
shits.
Yeah, that's right. Dog
You
shits.
didn't do dog shit.
Oh, I'm gonna give it 9.
So the more the dog shits, the worse it is.
9. Straight up.
Wow,
9.
Jesus. All right. Alex?
I'm gonna give it 8 dog shits. There were parts of it that I actually liked, like the music. You know, I can't take away from the music. I thought the music was actually
Bro,
really
some
good.
of those scenes you just
And,
showed, Jay, those death scenes are freaking.
And I was laughing. I laughed again. This goes back to the troll situation where I like laughed. I don't think I
No,
laughed in this one
definitely
as much as I did in Troll. But this movie is it's.
If I watched the
pretty
movie
bad.
with you guys, maybe I would have given it an 8. But just because it would have been more fun.
No, 8 dog shits is pretty bad though. That's like a 20%, dude.
9. I'm sticking
Harold,
with
how
9.
many dog shits would you give this? Based on what you've seen and heard today.
Based on what I've seen and heard,
You better give it a 10.
that sounds
after
like a straight 10 dog shit.
10. I was gonna say, bro. Yeah,
That sounds like a 10. Can I get 10 on that? 10 dog shits.
Michael just told you a freaking bedtime story. It was horrific, man.
I literally would only give this movie maybe higher if Michael Myers was in.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with
No.
what Alex said, I think the music is the only redeeming part
yeah,
of it.
but
So
that's why you
You
got.
don't,
I
we
would
don't
probably
get points
give
for
it
being
just
part of the multiverse. No. Mm-mm.
Harold, I think you should still give it a watch. Probably actually, before you watch Halloween Ends, you should watch Season of the Witch. It connects. Yeah.
So you go on
Yeah,
with
yeah.
lower expectations,
Exactly, right.
and then
And it connects.
it'll blow away
It's a
your
multiverse thing too.
expectations. Yeah.
So don't worry about it. I'm gonna give it 7.5 dog shits on that. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it 8. Fuck it.
I was gonna say 7.5.
I'm like, yeah,
Damn,
I
bro,
might as
you're
well give it
being
an 8.
generous
Yeah,
as
that's an
hell.
8.
You should give this higher though. You did say you
I
liked
did.
this movie.
know-
You know, as far as the standalone, like without connecting it to Halloween, it could have been worse. Like I feel like I've seen worse movies than this.
they,
I
by
really
the way,
have.
guys,
I
they
mean,
do connect that movie actually to the first to the reboot, the original one.
Do they?
Because if you notice, they're kids with
Oh,
those
with the
masks on.
mask. Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember that.
They do
Yep.
connect to them. Yeah,
Correct.
they're like, hey, I know that movie's dog shit, but
Do they all have the
they
pumpkin
have the
mask
pumpkin. They have
Hey,
all three. Yeah, they have all three. There's a part where
on?
Michael is like moving or something, like he's like walking in the streets, and you see the little kids like run across the street or something like that, with the mask on.
Either
Okay.
across the street or in front of him. I think they run into Michael Myers. Like he's
Yeah,
when he first
something
gets
like
into
that.
Haydenfield. I think that's when the
I
masks
think
show
I
up.
think you might be right.
Yeah.
I think I found a worse actor than the doctor guy
In this
Remember-
movie or in general?
in general. The guy from that Korean guy from Miami Connection was by far the worst actor I've ever seen in my entire life. In the history of watching movies,
He is bad.
he is the worst.
He is terrible. I
He's the
gotta
worst.
say, I mean,
Come on, I'm right on that. Sorry.
you're right. You're right. I just didn't. I
You
didn't
didn't
want
think
to put him
about
on the bus like that, bro. Like,
Yeah, of course, I have to.
man, bendito.
I have to. Bendito. The only reason I kept watching him because
So I just put an article I just put an article in there from I was looking up Easter eggs after Harold said that, and number 14 it shows up Season of the Witch, The Mask. If you click on that article, they have like the mask. I guess they're like in like a like in the background somewhere, like in the shot.
Wait, so they're not? There's not a guy or there's not kids with the mask, or it's in a shop? You said.
Well, there's kids running around trick or treating, yeah, and they're,
they're wearing
wearing
the
the
mask,
mask
okay.
from.
Was that in the?
Yeah, you can see it.
Was
like,
that on Halloween or Halloween?
the 2018?
Kills?
No, Halloween, the 2018. So the first reboot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. See, so you can't say that they don't connect the originals.
That's the thing. Even though they're
Even
shitty,
though this movie has nothing to do with.
That was a wink from the
a wink
from
and a nod
from yeah, exactly right from what's his face
Danny McBride. Yeah. Now I am curious because Harold, you said you watched a lot of the old ones, right? A lot of the old, and Alex the same way. It's like you guys watch. Was it even the one with Paul Rudd that you saw, like the cult shit that happened?
Yeah.
So because I stopped watching after 5, like after the niece thing happened, like when she was in the clown outfit, Danielle Harris. That was like the last one I saw. I think 5. I didn't even watch anything past that. Not because I didn't like it. I just didn't know it existed. But
I watched The Curse of Michael Myers, which was
that's
6.
one with Paul Rudd, I think, right?
I didn't watch any of that, dude. I think I watched 1, 2. I remember watching 3, and then I skipped over all of them and went right into the Rob Zombie
H2O
ones.
or something. Oh, really?
Ooh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You watch which one?
Just like the
He
first
said he just
3.
went into the Rob Zombie ones, yeah.
And then went into the Rob Zombie ones. Like I hadn't watched any of the ones before that.
See, I think 4, 5, and 6 are worth watching
This is what
because
I
they
hear.
still connect to it.
I gotta check them out.
H2O is not really worth it, or Resurrection.
And those have Jamie.
Well,
Lee
did you end up
Curtis
seeing
too,
those
right?
or no?
H2O, no.
I
never got a chance to watch them.
I think I saw H2O, but I didn't see Resurrection yet. But I know that they just get more ridiculous with it.
But are they
Like,
still part of
honestly,
the
it's just-
story? Like they still connect to everything?
As far as the 1 through whatever, it kind of now the one I think that Jamie Lee is predominantly in with Josh Hartnett. That's his. That's her son.
That's her son.
Like that one is, I think, connected in a way because they're still going by like the whole thing that Laurie Strode is connected family wise to Michael Myers. So they're still going by that. I think, right, Harold? Am I right now?
Yeah, something. Well, to be honest with you, I think the only thing that connects them, the older ones, because at one point, I mean, it was 1, 2 jumped over 3, 4, 5, 6, and those were all connected. Now I don't know about the H2O ones or the whatever, but the only thing that connects those specifically to the Halloween universe is because she's the actress Jamie Lee continues to act in them. So there's that, there's that there. But as far as the story goes, I don't know if it continues the storyline or not.
I think he's just after her and the son, and then everybody else gets in the way. So Michael Myers just kills them all. Then at the end of H2O, I think she ends up in either a hospital or a mental hospital. I don't know which one. And then the beginning of Resurrection, Michael Myers ends up throwing her out the window, and she's gone for the rest of the movie. Like she's not even in that last movie with Busta Rhymes because she's dead in the very beginning. That's all I remember.
Oh, that's
that
right.
Opening scene.
Yeah. There was which one was the one where she cuts off his head, right? Because he's stuck.
That was the end of H2O.
H2O, I think.
Like,
yeah.
But then they explained that. But then they explained it was someone else under the mask, like that ambulance worker, right. And then the ambulance worker, like Michael Myers, is actually the ambulance guy. And
he switched, did the old switcheroo.
Yeah, the old switcheroo, and that's how he ends up getting Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, Michael Myers smart. He's always up here.
He's a smart guy, huh?
He's a smart guy.
He was a smart guy not to be in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I'll tell you that.
Instead, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Michael Myers, the character, instead of being in Season of the Witch that year, which was 82, he actually did another movie during that time. It's a very little known fact. And he was actually did a cameo, and let me just share the clip with you here on where he's at. Hold on. He's actually in this movie too, yeah.
Yo, this song hits so hard.